All right, let's play with vertical blocking. So if we look at a horizontal blocking like the superego, so for example, I'm an ESFP, SEE, you could say that my introverted logic, my vulnerable function, which is in the producing position of that block, it is doing a poor job or a not particularly sophisticated job of producing creatively for the role function accepting extroverted intuition of that block. But perhaps, hypothetically, you could do a vertical blocking between the vulnerable function and the leading function. Remember, the leading function is in an accepting position and the vulnerable a producing position. So you'd still have that accepting producing dynamic. And you would still maintain the, both would still be static functions or both dynamic functions depending on which type you're looking at. But in the case of the SEE, perhaps you could more effectively have introverted logic produce for the leading extroverted sensing of the SEE. An example of that in my own life, I work in the plumbing field. I deal with the National Plumbing Code of Canada, which deals with a bunch of intersecting rules and laws. And you have to understand how you'll be in a situation where there's a bunch of different laws that are coming into contact with each other at the same time, and you have to basically maneuver through that in a way that you're able to complete the task and still have the product be legal as far as all these different intersecting laws are concerned. Also, different plumbing inspectors interpret the plumbing code differently, which makes it kind of interesting. There's actually arguments about it. So maybe in that situation, I'm able to do sort of a low-grade SLE type thing. I'm able to do a vertical blocking between my extroverted sensing and my introverted logic. And in that case, I'm not really TI vulnerable. But if I were to try to make my introverted logic produce for my extroverted intuition role function, such as with the superego, then there I would show more TI vulnerability. And I think this is basically what Model L is on about. I haven't looked closely enough into that model, but I think this type of, getting more specific is essentially what they're speaking of. But I have to look further. I don't want to speak for them. But anyways, just playing with the vertical blockings.